Alright, settle in, grab an Nanaimo bar, maybe a double-double, because Joe here has decided you need a visual journey across Canada. And who am I to argue? I mean, Canadian. It's in my blood, along with a mild obsession with apologizing and a genetic predisposition to think hockey is a reasonable way to spend a fantastic night. We're about to take you on a whirlwind tour of the Great White North, from coast to coast to, well, the other coast. It's a big place. You might want to take notes, or just sit back and let the pretty pictures wash over you like a wave of pure, unadulterated maple syrup. We're going to be showcasing 25, count 'em, 25 must-see destinations. Why 25? Because 24 felt incomplete and 26 would have required more work, and we Canadians are efficiently lazy. These aren't just random spots on a map that Joe threw a dart at blindfolded after a few too many Molsons. No, these are the crown jewels, the big-ticket items, the places that make you say, huh, so that's what all the fuss is about. We've got mountains that scrape the sky, cities that buzz with more energy than a caffeinated beaver, and landscapes so quiet you can hear your own existential dread. Fun! Now, you'll probably notice some delightfully chill background music playing. Think of it as the sonic equivalent of a warm Hudson's Bay blanket for your ears. We're keeping the narration minimal because, frankly, I have better things to do, like literally anything else. But also because the visuals are the real star here. They're going to do the heavy lifting. My job is just to occasionally chime in with some witty, insightful, and devastatingly charming commentary. Joe's words, not mine. He thinks I'm charming. Bless his cotton socks. So, let's get this show on the road, or on the Trans-Canada Highway if you will. We're about to prove that there's more to this country than just snow and saying sorry. Though to be fair, there is a lot of snow, and we are genuinely sorry about that. But look on the bright side. It makes for some spectacular scenery. Prepare to have your wanderlust stoked, your travel bucket list expanded, and your perception of Canada forever changed. Or, you'll just be entertained for the next about 1 hour. Either way, Joe and I are calling it a win. Gap 1S, number 1, Banff National Park, Alberta. Okay, kicking things off with the big guns. This is the place you see on postcards, on inspirational posters in your dentist's office, and all over your cousin Brenda's Instagram feed after her finding herself trip. This isn't just a park, it's Mother Nature's swagger. It's like she decided to show off what she could do with a bunch of rock ice and some ridiculously blue water. You half expect a bald eagle to fly by carrying a tiny Canadian flag while Celine Dion starts belting out a power ballad. It's that majestic. Banff National Park, Alberta. I'm contractually obligated by Joe to say that. But really, what more is there to say? Look at it. The mountains here aren't just big, they're aggressively majestic. They don't just stand there, they loom. They judge you for that extra donut you had this morning. They've been here for millions of years, watching empires rise and fall. And they will be here long after we're all gone. It's a humbling thought, which is a nice way of saying it makes you feel incredibly small and insignificant. Enjoy that feeling. The air here is different. It's crisp. It's clean. It's the kind of air that makes you feel like you could run a marathon, or at least walk briskly to the nearest gift shop to buy a t-shirt that says you ran a marathon. Every breath feels like you're inhaling pure, unadulterated wilderness. You can almost taste the pine, the snow, and the distant possibility of encountering a grizzly bear, which adds a certain spice to your leisurely hike. It's the ultimate detox from city life, smog, and the soul-crushing reality of your daily commute. And let's be honest, this is Canada's first national park for a reason. They started with the best. It's like releasing your greatest hit as your debut single. Where do you go from there? Well, luckily for you and this video, there are 24 other places to go, but Banff sets a ridiculously high bar. It's the prom king of national parks, effortlessly handsome, popular with everyone, and probably really good at sports. So soak it in, folks. This is the pinnacle, the peak, well, you get the mountain-related puns. Let's talk about the water, because you can't talk about Banff without talking about the water. It's a shade of blue that doesn't seem real. It's not just blue, it's Gatorade blue. It's blue like a Smurf who's holding his breath. It's so vibrant you wonder if someone's been dumping food coloring into the lakes as a national prank. But no, it's all natural, baby. It's the result of rock flour, tiny particles of glacial silt suspended in the water, reflecting the light in a way that makes your brain short-circuit with disbelief. Science is cool, I guess. You see lakes like Morne and Peyto, and you just have to stop and stare. You'll take 100 pictures, and none of them will do it justice. It's one of those things you have to see with your own eyeballs to truly comprehend. And yes, it is as cold as it looks. Colder, probably. Dipping your toe in is a rite of passage, a quick and shocking reminder that despite its beauty, this landscape is not messing around. It's the kind of cold that travels up your leg and whispers ancient secrets about the Ice Age directly into your soul. And it's not just the lakes. The rivers here, like the Bow River, carve their way through the valleys with a purpose. They flow with the kind of relentless, steady power that makes you respect the forces of nature. You can raft them, you can fish them, or you can just sit by their banks and contemplate the ceaseless passage of time. Or, wonder what's for lunch. It's a choose-your-own adventure of profundity. This whole place is basically a giant, beautiful, and slightly intimidating water feature. So when you're here, just embrace the blue. Let it recalibrate your senses. It's a color that will be burned into your memory long after you've left. It's the kind of blue that will make all other blues seem dull and uninspired by comparison. You'll go back home, look at the ocean and think, meh, needs more glacial silt. Banff ruins you for other colors. You've been warned. Joe made me add that last part for legal reasons. Probably. Now, for the locals. And I'm not talking about the friendly folks in the town of Banff who will happily sell you a maple leaf-shaped keychain. I'm talking about the locals. The ones with fur, antlers, and a healthy disregard for your personal space on the highway. We're talking elk, deer, bighorn sheep, and the headliner act, the grizzly bear. This isn't a zoo, folks. This is their home. We're just the tourists gawking from our rental cars. So please, for the love of all that is holy, do not try to get a selfie with the 800-pound bear. You'll see them everywhere. An elk casually strolling through town like it's looking for the nearest Tim Hortons. A herd of bighorn sheep causing a traffic jam by licking salt off the road. It's called a bear jam or an elk jam for a reason. It's part of the experience. It's a reminder that you are a visitor in a vast, untamed wilderness. These animals are not props for your vacation photos. They are wild, unpredictable, and have absolutely no interest in becoming your new best friend, no matter how nicely you ask. So, keep your distance. Use a zoom lens. That's what they're for. Don't feed the wildlife, unless you want to be responsible for making a squirrel dangerously dependent on Cheetos, which is a heavy burden to carry, my friends. The park has rules for a reason, to protect you and to protect them. Respect the wildlife, and they might just grace you with their presence. Disrespect them, and you might end up as a cautionary tale on the evening news, and Joe definitely doesn't want our channel to be associated with that. It's a delicate balance, this coexistence between humans and nature. And Banff is a masterclass in how it can work. It's a place where you can feel truly connected to the wild kingdom, to see creatures in their natural habitat, living their best lives. It's a powerful, humbling, and awe-inspiring experience. Just remember the #1 rule of the Canadian wilderness. If it's big and furry, admire it from afar, very, very far, preferably from inside a locked vehicle with the windows up. Number 2. Niagara Falls, Ontario. Alright, moving east. We're trading in serene mountain majesty for raw, thundering, aquatic power. This is the kind of place that's been attracting daredevils in barrels for over a century, which should tell you something about its sheer hypnotic insanity. It's less of a waterfall and more of a massive, gaping hole in a very large river that's decided to fall off a cliff with spectacular enthusiasm. It's nature's demolition derby, and it runs 24/7, 365 days a year with no holidays. Niagara Falls, Ontario. There, I said it. Joe's happy. Now, let's talk about the noise. It's not just loud, It's a physical presence. It's a deep guttural roar that you feel in your chest, in your bones. It vibrates through the ground and up your spine. It's the sound of 6 million cubic feet of water per minute telling gravity who's boss. It's a constant, overwhelming reminder that you are a tiny, fragile human in the face of one of the planet's most powerful natural wonders. It's humbling in a very, very loud way. And the mist. Oh, the glorious mist. It's not a gentle spray, it's a perpetual state of drizzle that soaks you to the core, even on a sunny day. You'll be given a flimsy plastic poncho that does absolutely nothing but make you look like a member of a very sad, very damp cult. But you wear it with pride. Because getting soaked by the sheer force of Niagara Falls is a badge of honor. It's a baptism by nature. You haven't truly experienced it until your hair is plastered to your face and you can't tell if the water on your cheeks is mist or tears of joy or terror. This is the classic, quintessential tourist destination. It's been one for centuries. People have been coming here on their honeymoons since honeymoons were invented, probably. It has that old-school charm, mixed with the sheer, unadulterated power of a geological phenomenon. It's a place of immense natural beauty that we, as humans, have decided to surround with casinos, wax museums, and haunted houses. It's a uniquely North American approach to appreciating nature, and honestly, you have to respect the hustle. You can't just look at the falls from a distance. That would be like going to a rock concert and standing in the parking lot. No, you have to get in there. You have to get on one of those boats. You know the ones. The Hornblower in Canada, the Maid of the Mist on the American side. They give you another one of those stylish ponchos, this time in a different color, so you can tell which country's citizens are getting drenched. And they drive you right into the belly of the beast. It's a glorious, terrifying, and utterly unforgettable experience. As you get closer to the base of the Horseshoe Falls, the world dissolves into a chaotic symphony of wind, water, and noise. The roar becomes deafening. The mist becomes a torrential downpour. You can barely see 5 feet in front of you. You're just surrounded by this white, churning chaos. It feels like you're sailing into the apocalypse, and it is absolutely exhilarating. You'll find yourself laughing uncontrollably, a primal reaction to being so close to something so immensely powerful and so completely out of your control. Then, there's the journey behind the falls. This is for those who think being on a boat isn't close enough. This experience takes you down an elevator, through a series of tunnels carved into the rock a century ago, to portals that open up the sheet of falling water. You're literally inside the thunder. You can reach out and touch the backside of Niagara Falls. It's a bizarre and strangely intimate perspective, watching a curtain of water weighing thousands of tons crash down just a few feet in front of you. These experiences are designed to do one thing: strip away the postcard image and immerse you in the raw reality of the falls. They're designed to make you feel small, to make you feel the spray on your face and the thunder in your heart. It's about more than just seeing it. It's about feeling it, hearing it, and getting thoroughly, unapologetically soaked by it. And trust me, it's worth every soggy moment. Joe says it builds character. I say it just ruins your hair for the rest of the day. Once you've had your fill of natural wonder and have successfully toweled off, you can turn around and experience the man-made wonder that is Clifton Hill. It's a spectacle of a different kind. It's a street that assaults your senses with flashing neon lights, the cacophony of arcade games, and the siren song of fudge shops. It's the Las Vegas Strip if it was designed by a committee of hyperactive teenagers who were given an unlimited budget for blacklights and animatronics. It is, in a word, bonkers. You've got everything here. A giant Ferris wheel, multiple haunted houses, a wax museum where the celebrities look vaguely like they're having an allergic reaction, mini golf courses with dinosaurs and wizards. It's a glorious monument to kitsch. You can spend an entire day just wandering up and down this one street, your jaw perpetually on the floor, either from awe or disbelief. It's the perfect, jarring contrast to the natural beauty just a stone's throw away. Nature's masterpiece on one side, humanity's fever dream on the other, and let's not forget the casinos. Because what better way to celebrate the awe-inspiring power of nature than by going inside and losing $20 on a slot machine themed after a popular game show? It's all part of the Niagara experience. The region has leaned into its identity as a full-service entertainment destination. You can have a profound spiritual moment at the falls in the morning and be watching a magic show by dinner. It's a place that truly offers something for everyone, especially if you have a high tolerance for sensory overload. At night, the falls themselves get in on the act. They are illuminated by a rainbow of powerful colored lights, turning the thundering water into a massive liquid light show. It's beautiful, it's dramatic, and it's a little bit over the top, which perfectly encapsulates the spirit of Niagara Falls. It's a place that understands its own grandeur and isn't afraid to put on a show. It's nature's brute force meets humanity's unquenchable thirst for entertainment. And you know what? It works. Number 3. Vancouver, my hometown, where glass towers meet green mountains, rain is a lifestyle, and the air smells like pine and ambition. You can close a business deal, get chased by a goose, and spot a superhero filming, all before lunch. It's beautiful, quirky, and always a little bit Hollywood North. Just go. Number 4. Old Europe, French flavor. Step into the heart of French Canada, where cobblestone streets, centuries-old architecture, and vibrant culture transport you straight to Europe. In cities like Quebec City and Montreal, you'll find a unique blend of old-world charm and modern energy. Explore the historic district of Old Quebec, a UNESCO World Heritage Site with its fortified walls, quaint squares, and the iconic Chateau Frontenac. Wander through Montreal's lively neighborhoods, where French bistros, artisan bakeries, and open-air markets fill the air with delicious aromas. Experience the joie de vivre at summer festivals, street performances, and bustling cafes, all set against a backdrop of stunning European-style architecture. This is where Canada's French heritage comes alive, offering a taste of old Europe right in North America. Gap.1S Number 5, Jasper National Park. Okay, so you've seen Banff. You were impressed. You thought, wow, mountains don't get much more mountainy than this? Well, hold my maple syrup because we're heading a few hours north up the Icefields Parkway to Jasper National Park. If Banff is the popular, polished, straight-A student of the Rockies, Jasper is its wilder, bigger, slightly more mysterious older sibling. It's the one who shows up to family dinner with a few scratches, a great story, and a look in its eye that says it's seen things. It's the largest national park in the Canadian Rockies, and it feels like it. The scale of this place is just staggering. Everything is bigger, the valleys are wider, and the crowds are smaller. You feel less like a tourist and more like a tiny, insignificant speck in a vast, untamed wilderness, which frankly is a great feeling. It puts your own problems, like that email you forgot to send, into perspective. The town of Jasper itself is more laid back than Banff. It's a genuine, unpretentious railway town that just happens to be located in one of the most beautiful places on earth. It's less about fancy boutiques and more about functional outdoor gear shops and cozy pubs where you can swap stories with fellow adventurers. The wildlife here isn't just a possibility, it's a probability. You don't go looking for wildlife in Jasper, you try to avoid hitting it with your car. You'll see herds of elk just casually grazing on the lawn in the middle of town, like they own the place. Which, let's be honest, they kind of do. You'll see bighorn sheep causing traffic jams on the highway, mountain goats defying gravity on sheer cliff faces, and maybe, if you're lucky and keep a respectful distance, a bear or a moose. It's a constant, humbling reminder that you are a visitor in their home. And the darkness, oh, the darkness. Jasper is a designated dark sky preserve, which is a fancy way of saying it gets really, really ridiculously dark at night. The lack of light pollution means the stargazing here is absolutely off the charts. On a clear night, the sky just explodes with stars. You can see the Milky Way arching overhead in all its galactic glory, a sight that most people in cities have never experienced. It's the kind of view that makes you feel connected to the universe in a profound way, or it just makes you feel very, very small. Either way, it's unforgettable. Let's talk about some of the superstars of Jasper. First up, Malign Canyon. This isn't just a crack in the ground, it's a geological masterpiece. The Malign River has spent thousands of years carving its way through limestone, creating a canyon that is at points over 50 meters deep but only a few meters wide. A series of bridges crisscross the chasm, allowing you to peer down into the swirling turquoise water below. The power of the water is palpable. You can feel the rumble of it through the soles of your feet. It's a dizzying, awe-inspiring walk. In the winter, Malign Canyon transforms into a completely different, equally magical world. The waterfalls freeze into towering pillars of blue ice, and the canyon floor becomes a silent, frozen cathedral. You can strap on a pair of ice cleats and go on a guided ice walk along the frozen riverbed, walking through a surreal landscape of ice caves and frozen cascades. It's one of the most unique experiences you can have in the Rockies, like stepping onto another planet. A very cold, very slippery planet. But beautiful nonetheless. It's a must-do, even if you look like a penguin waddling on the ice. Now for the main event, the image you've probably seen on 1,000 calendars and postcards, Spirit Island on Malign Lake. First of all, getting there is an adventure in itself. Malign Lake is the second largest natural lake in the Canadian Rockies, a 22-kilometer. Number 6, Toronto. The 6, a city of culture, concrete and cranes where you'll find world-class food, vibrant neighborhoods and the iconic CN Tower. From bustling markets to peaceful islands, Toronto is a mosaic of energy, diversity and creativity. It's big, bold and always buzzing, Canada's heart in a concrete jungle. Number 7. Whistler, British Columbia, a mountain paradise for adventure lovers. In winter, ski or snowboard legendary slopes. In summer, hike and bike lush trails. The village buzzes with après-ski festivals and world-class dining. Whether you crave adrenaline or relaxation, Whistler's magic is unforgettable, no matter the season. Number 8. Alright, let's jet over to Quebec and land in the effortlessly cool city of Montreal. If Toronto is the buttoned-up older sibling who went into finance, Montreal is the artistic, chain-smoking younger sibling who went to art school and is way more fun at parties. This city has a soul, a certain that's hard to pin down. It's a magical blend of North American energy and European charm. One minute you're in a gleaming modern skyscraper, the next you're wandering down a cobblestone street that feels like it was plucked straight out of 17th century France. It's this constant delightful confusion that makes Montreal so captivating. The heart of this old world charm is, of course, Old Montreal or Vieux Montreal. This is where the city began, right on the shores of the St. Lawrence River. Walking through its narrow, winding streets is like stepping back in time. The architecture is stunning. Grand old stone buildings, historic churches and hidden courtyards. You can explore the magnificent Notre Dame Basilica, a Gothic revival masterpiece whose interior is so breathtakingly blue and gold it feels otherworldly. Or you can just wander aimlessly, popping into art galleries, souvenir shops and charming bistros. It's impossibly romantic and photogenic. But Montreal isn't just a museum piece, it's a living, breathing, modern metropolis. Head downtown and you're in the heart of the action, with bustling streets, a vibrant shopping scene on Sainte Catherine Street, and a network of universities that give the city a youthful, energetic vibe. And here's a pro tip for the winter: Montreal has the Underground City, or RISO, a massive network of tunnels connecting malls, metro stations and buildings, so you can live your entire life without ever having to face the Canadian winter, which is both brilliant and slightly dystopian. A true testament to human ingenuity in the face of cold. The city is famously bilingual, a constant dance between French and English. You'll hear both spoken everywhere, often in the same sentence. This linguistic duality is at the core of Montreal's identity. It creates a unique culture that's distinct from anywhere else in North America. It's a city that's proud of its French heritage, but also embraces its multicultural present. It's a place of festivals, of art, of late-night debates over coffee, and of a passionate love for life, or as they say here, and they have it in spades. You cannot, I repeat, cannot talk about Montreal without talking about the food. It's a religion here, and at the center of this culinary faith is a holy trinity of dishes that you must consume. First up, the Montreal bagel. Now, I know New York thinks it has the bagel game on lock, but they're wrong. Montreal bagels are a different beast. They're boiled in honey-sweetened water and then baked in a wood-fired oven, resulting in a bagel that's denser, sweeter, and infinitely superior. I said it. Come at me, New York. The two main temples for this starchy sacrament are Saint Viateur and Fairmount Bagel, and the debate over which is better is a fierce, lifelong rivalry. Next on our holy pilgrimage is Montreal smoked meat. This is not your average deli pastrami. This is brisket that has been salted and cured for over a week with a secret blend of spices, then hot smoked and steamed to perfection. The result is a pile of meat so tender, so juicy, and so flavorful it will make you weep with joy. The legendary spot to get it is Schwartz's Deli, an institution that's been slicing it up since 1928. You get it served piled high on rye bread with a smear of mustard. That's it. It doesn't need anything else. It's simple, it's perfect. Number 9. Prince Edward Island, Canada's smallest province but big on charm. Think rolling green hills, red sand beaches, and Anne of Green Gables. Here, lobster is a way of life, potatoes are royalty, and cow's ice cream is legendary. Whether you arrive by bridge or ferry, PEI's cozy villages and slow pace invite you to relax, explore, and eat your fill. Might as well be you. Number 10. Ottawa, Canada's capital, is more than just Parliament Hill. It's a city of stunning Gothic buildings, vibrant festivals, and the iconic Rideau Canal. Skate in winter, paddle in summer. From world-class museums to food trucks and lively neighborhoods, Ottawa surprises with its creativity, nature, and heart. It's Canada's studious yet secretly fun capital. Number 11. Lake Louise, Albert. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. Lake Louise is cheating. It's not a real place. It's a postcard that came to life through some sort of maple-fueled witchcraft. At number 11, we have what is possibly the most photographed, most Instagrammed, most jaw-droppingly beautiful lake on the entire planet. Located in Banff National Park, which we've already covered, but this lake deserves its own chapter, Lake Louise is famous for one thing above all else. It's absolutely absurd turquoise water. It's a color that doesn't look like it should exist in nature. It looks like someone spilled a giant bottle of blue sports drink into a valley, and I mean that as the highest possible compliment. So, why is it that color? Science time, kids! The lake is fed by glaciers, and as these glaciers grind their way down the mountains, they produce something called rock flour. It's basically superfine, silt-like rock dust. This dust gets suspended in the water, and when sunlight hits it, it refracts the light in such a way that it absorbs all the colors of the spectrum except for the blues and greens. The result is this milky, opaque Gatorade blue that has launched a billion calendars. It's so vibrant that even on a cloudy day, the lake seems to glow from within. It's a geological magic trick, and the finale is spectacular. Looming at the far end of the lake is the Victoria Glacier, the very source of all this beauty. It hangs there between several towering, snow-dusted peaks of the Canadian Rockies, looking majestic and slightly intimidating, like a giant ice monster taking a nap. The whole scene is framed by these colossal mountains that just shoot straight up from the shoreline. It's a perfect composition. It's almost too perfect. You stand there on the shore and you feel like you're on a movie set. A very, very cold movie set, but a beautiful one, nonetheless. It's a place that renders you speechless, which is a problem when you're being paid to talk about it. And right on the shore, you have the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise. This massive, historic hotel looks like a castle that was plucked from the Swiss Alps and dropped into the Canadian wilderness. It's grand, it's luxurious, and it has what is arguably the best hotel view in the entire world. You can sit in their lounge, sipping a ridiculously expensive cocktail, and just stare out the giant picture windows at the lake and glacier. It's an experience that will make you feel both incredibly fancy and incredibly small in the face of such overwhelming natural beauty. It's worth every penny of that overpriced drink just for the view. Number 12. Victoria, British Columbia. British Columbia is a charming, well-dressed city where gardens bloom, tea is an art form, and the air smells of salt water and roses. Wander the photogenic streets, enjoy afternoon tea at the Fairmont Empress, watch harbor seals lounge, or set out for whale watching. Victoria invites you to slow down, breathe in the flowers, and savor every splendid, civilized moment. Number 13. Gros National Park. Gros National Park, Newfoundland, a land of dramatic contrasts and ancient power. Here, the tablelands reveal Earth's mantle, creating a Martian landscape beside lush fjords. Hike wild trails, meet legendary locals, and witness nature's raw beauty. Gros Morne is unforgettable, a journey to the planet's heart. Number 14. Calgary, Alberta. Alright, snap on your cowboy boots and dust off your Stetson because we're heading to Calgary, Alberta. Now, if you think Calgary is just about oil, cattle, and guys named Chet, you're not entirely wrong, but you're also missing the bigger picture. This is a city with a swagger. It's a place built on bold bets and booming industries, a city that feels like it's constantly reinventing itself while still holding on to its proud Western roots. It's got the soaring glass towers of a major financial hub, but it's also a place where you can unironically wear a giant belt buckle to a business meeting. It's a city of contrasts, a blend of corporate polish and cowboy grit. Calgary is young, energetic, and unapologetically ambitious. You can feel it in the air. This is the sunniest major city in Canada, and that optimism seems to have seeped into the local psyche. It's a place where people work hard and play harder. The downtown core, nestled at the confluence of the Bow and Elbow rivers, is a testament to the city's prosperity, with a skyline that punches well above its weight. But just a few steps away, you can be cycling or rafting along the river pathways, a perfect example of the city's unique blend of urban hustle and outdoor adventure. It's a city that hasn't forgotten how to have fun. The city's heart and soul is tied to the vast open prairies to the east and the towering Rocky Mountains to the west. You can see the mountains from almost anywhere in the city, a constant, majestic promise of adventure just an hour's drive away. This proximity to some of the world's most incredible natural landscapes is Calgary's trump card. It's a city that offers the best of both worlds, the opportunities and amenities of a major metropolis, with an unparalleled outdoor playground right on its doorstep. You can close a multi-million-dollar deal in the morning and be hiking a mountain trail by the afternoon. That's the Calgary promise. And let's talk about that Western heritage. It's not just a gimmick trotted out for tourists once a year. It's woven into the fabric of the city. You see it in the public art, like the Wonderland sculpture, a giant bent wire head you can walk inside. You feel it in the friendly, down-to-earth attitude of the people, and you can definitely taste it in the city's obsession with steak. This is a place that takes its beef very, very seriously. Calgary is a modern, dynamic city that wears its cowboy hat with pride, a unique and compelling mix of the Old West and the New Frontier. You cannot, I repeat, cannot talk about Calgary without. Number 15. The Cabot Trail, Nova Scotia. Cape Breton Island is Nova Scotia's rugged scenic masterpiece, where the Cabot Trail hugs dramatic coastlines, rolling green hills, and unforgettable views. It's a place of Celtic spirit, legendary hospitality, and music that fills the air. Hike, drive, dance, and connect. Cape Breton is an adventure and a memory you'll never forget. Number 16. Okanagan Valley, British Columbia. Next up, we're heading west to British Columbia's Okanagan Valley. If Cape Breton was a rugged sea-sprayed fiddler, the Okanagan is a sophisticated sunbather with a glass of Pinot Gris. This place is Canada's wine country. And I don't mean they have a couple of sad little vineyards in a field. I mean it's a full-blown, world-class wine region that will make you wonder why you ever drank that cheap stuff from a box. The landscape here is dramatically different. We're talking semi-arid desert, rolling hills, and a whole bunch of really, really big lakes. The valley is basically a long sunny corridor filled with over 200 wineries. 200. That's more wineries than I have sensible life decisions. From huge, architecturally stunning estates that look like a villain's lair from a Bond movie, to small, family-run boutique operations where the owner pours you a glass themselves. There's a winery for every mood. You can spend your days hopping from one tasting room to the next, sampling everything from crisp whites to bold reds, all while soaking in the ridiculous lakeside views. It's a tough life, I know, and this isn't just about chugging fermented grape juice. Oh no, it's about the experience. It's about learning the difference between Merlot and Malbec from someone who actually knows what they're talking about. It's about sitting on a sun-drenched patio, swirling a glass of rosé, and feeling sophisticated as hell. You can take a guided tour, or you can just grab a map and a designated driver. And I cannot stress the designated driver part enough, and create your own boozy adventure. The Okanagan wine festivals held throughout the year are the ultimate expression of this grape-fueled paradise. Honestly, the sheer volume of choice can be overwhelming. Kelowna, Penticton, Osoyoos, Oliver. Every town has its own cluster of award-winning wineries. My advice? Don't try to do it all. Pick a sub-region, like the Naramata Bench or the Golden Mile, and explore it deeply. Pace yourself, drink water, eat some of the amazing local food. Otherwise, your sophisticated wine tour will quickly devolve into you trying to explain the plot of Inception to a confused-looking grapevine. Not that I'm speaking from experience. Definitely not. Okay, let's say, for some crazy reason, you need a break from wine. First, who are you? Second, the Okanagan has you covered. The valley is defined by its lakes. Okanagan Lake, Kalamalka Lake, Osoyoos Lake. These are not ponds, my friends. These are massive bodies of fresh, beautiful water that are basically begging you to come play in them. The summer climate here is hot and dry, which means lake life is not just a pastime, it's a survival strategy, and a really, really fun one. You can do pretty much any water sport you can imagine. Swimming, boating, paddleboarding, kayaking, water skiing, trying to balance on one of those ridiculous flyboard things that shoot you into the air. The beaches are packed, the water is warm, and the vibe is pure summer vacation. Rent a boat, pack a cooler, and spend the day exploring hidden coves and bays. Or just find a nice stretch of sand, plant an umbrella, and work on your tan while occasionally dipping your toes in the water to remember what it feels like to be alive. And if you get tired of the water, look up. The hills are calling. The same rolling landscape that's perfect for growing grapes is also perfect for hiking and biking. The Kettle Valley Rail Trail is a local legend, a decommissioned railway line that has been converted into a massive recreational path. You can walk or bike for miles along gentle grades, crossing dramatic trestle bridges and passing through cool tunnels, all with stunning views of the valley below. It's exercise, but with scenery so good, you forget you're actually exercising. The best kind of trickery. Plus, the valley is a fruit basket, a giant delicious fruit basket. When you're driving around, you'll see fruit stands everywhere, selling cherries, peaches, apricots, and apples that taste like they were grown by angels. Seriously, buying a flat of peaches straight from the farm and eating one while the juice runs down your chin is a core Okanagan experience. It's simple, it's delicious, and it's a reminder that not everything good in this valley has to be fermented first. Though let's be honest, it often helps. Now for the weird part. As you head south in the valley, things get different. The landscape around Osoyoos is Canada's only true desert. Yes, desert, in Canada, complete with sagebrush, cacti, and blistering summer heat. It feels like you've been teleported to Nevada, but with better healthcare and a higher chance of someone saying sorry. The Osoyoos Desert Center is a fantastic place to explore this unique ecosystem on a raised boardwalk, so you don't have to worry about accidentally stepping on a cactus or a strangely polite rattlesnake. This southern end of the valley is also home to Spotted Lake, which is one of the strangest natural phenomena you'll ever see. In the summer, as the water evaporates, it leaves behind huge, colorful mineral pools that make the lake look like it has giant polka dots. It's a sacred place for the local First Nations people and looks like something from another planet. You can't walk on it, but you can view it from the highway, and it's absolutely worth the stop to gaze upon its bizarre, otherworldly beauty. It's nature's weirdest art installation, and we can't talk about Okanagan Lake without mentioning its most famous resident, the Ogopogo. That's right, Canada has its own loch. Number 17. Churchill, Manitoba. Okay, change of scenery. A big one. We're going from sun-drenched vineyards to the subarctic tundra. Pack your parka, because we're headed to Churchill, Manitoba. This isn't a place you just stumble upon. It's remote. Like, really remote. You can't drive there. You either fly in or take a 2-day train ride across the vast empty expanse of northern Manitoba, but the journey is worth it, because Churchill has a very, very big claim to fame. It is, without any exaggeration, the polar bear capital of the world. Every autumn, hundreds of polar bears gather along the coast of Hudson Bay, waiting for the sea ice to form so they can go out and hunt for seals. And Churchill just happens to be right in the middle of this migration path. This means that for a few months a year, the town's polar bear population significantly outnumbers its human population. Think about that for a second. It's a place where you're more likely to run into a 1,000-pound apex predator than, say, your high school chemistry teacher, which, depending on your chemistry teacher, might be an improvement. You don't just wander around looking for them, obviously. That would be a very short and very final trip. You go out in these giant, custom-built vehicles called tundra buggies. They're like monster trucks mixed with a school bus, with massive tires that can handle the rough terrain, and a viewing platform high enough off the ground that the bears can't use you as a chew toy. From this safe vantage point, you can watch these magnificent animals in their natural habitat. It's an incredibly powerful and humbling experience. Seeing a polar bear up close is something you will never forget. They are massive, majestic, and surprisingly curious. They'll often come right up to the buggies, sniffing around, sometimes even standing up on their hind legs to get a better look at the weird metal box full of talking monkeys. It's a face-to-face encounter with one of the planet's most iconic and threatened species. It's not a zoo, it's not a park. It's just wild, raw nature, and you're a guest in their world. A very well-protected, very lucky guest. But wait, there's more. Churchill isn't a one-trick pony. Or a one-trick polar bear, I guess. If you visit in the summer, you're in for a completely different, but equally mind-blowing, wildlife experience. The focus shifts from the land to the water because the Churchill River estuary becomes a beluga whale nursery. Thousands upon thousands of these beautiful white whales, often called canaries of the sea for their chirps and clicks, swim into the warm, shallow waters to give birth and raise their young. And you can get unbelievably close to them. You can take a boat tour, but the real magic is getting out on the water in a kayak or a zodiac. The belugas are incredibly social and curious creatures. They'll swim right up to you, under you, and all around you, their ghostly white shapes gliding through the murky water. You can hear their songs and whistles echoing around you. It's a surreal, almost mystical experience, being surrounded by hundreds of these gentle, intelligent animals. It's like being in the middle of a whale convention and you're the guest of honor. And if you're visiting in either of these seasons, late summer, fall, or winter, you have a pretty good chance of seeing another one of nature's greatest shows, the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. Churchill sits directly under the auroral oval, which is a fancy way of saying it's one of the best places on Earth to see them. On a clear night, the sky can erupt in shimmering curtains of green, purple, and pink light, dancing and swirling overhead like something out of a dream. There are special viewing domes and lodges outside of town. Away from the lights, where you can sit in warmth and comfort and watch the cosmic light show unfold. Staring up at the aurora is a profound experience. It makes you feel connected to the universe in a way that's hard to describe. It's pure magic, a reminder of the incredible beauty and mystery of the cosmos. So, in Churchill, you can see the king of the Arctic by day and the magic of the heavens by night. Not a bad deal for a tiny town at the edge of the world. Let's not forget that Churchill is also a town, a real place where about 900 incredibly resilient people live their lives. Number 18. St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. St. John's, Newfoundland is a riot of color and character. Jellybean Row's vibrant houses defy the fog, while Signal Hill offers epic views and history. At night, George Street comes alive. Music, laughter, and the legendary Screech-In, where you kiss a cod. Here, every corner is a celebration. Welcome to the heart of Newfoundland. Number 19. Emerald Lake, Yukon. British Columbia's awe-inspiring, less crowded gem. Here, towering peaks, thundering waterfalls, and the dazzling Emerald Lake create a landscape of pure wonder. Marvel at ancient fossils, paddle on unreal blue-green water, and soak in the magic. Yoho, a place where nature's beauty truly needs no filter. Number 20. Pacific Rim National Park Reserve. Alright, pack your rain jacket and your Sense Pacific Rim National Park Reserve adventure, because we're heading to the end of the road on Vancouver Island, Tofino. This isn't your typical beach town with calm waters and tiki bars. Oh no. Tofino is on the wild, rugged west coast of Canada, where the Pacific Ocean shows up angry and beautiful. This is the land of ancient rainforests, epic surf, and a vibe so laid back it's practically horizontal. Getting here is part of the experience. A winding drive through mountain passes and cathedral-like groves of old-growth trees. By the time you arrive, you already feel like you've entered another world. Tofino is the undisputed surf capital of Canada. Now you might be thinking, surfing? In Canada? Isn't the water like freezing? Yes it is. That's what wetsuits are for, you coward. But the waves here are legendary, rolling in consistently from the open ocean, creating perfect conditions for everyone from seasoned pros to clumsy beginners who spend more time falling off the board than riding it. The main hub for this is Long Beach, a seemingly endless stretch of sand that gets pounded by the relentless Pacific surf. It's a humbling and exhilarating sight, but even if you have no intention of strapping yourself to a piece of foam and paddling into hypothermia-inducing water, Tofino's beaches are still a must-see. They are vast, wild, and windswept, littered with giant driftwood logs that look like the bones of ancient sea monsters. Walking along the shore, with the roar of the waves in your ears and the salty mist on your face, is a primal experience. It's a place to feel the raw power of the ocean, to watch the fog roll in and swallow the horizon, and to feel incredibly small in the best possible way. This isn't a beach for sunbathing, it's a beach for soul-searching. And the town itself has this incredible authentic charm. It's a mix of surf shops, art galleries showcasing local First Nations art, and incredible little restaurants that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about tacos. Specifically, fish tacos. It's a community of artists, surfers, fishermen, and nature lovers who have all been drawn to this remote corner of the world. There's a creative, independent spirit here that's as wild and untamed as the landscape itself. Tofino isn't just a destination, it's a lifestyle. A very cool, very damp lifestyle. Beyond the beaches, Tofino is home to some of the most magnificent temperate rainforests on the planet. This is part of the Clayoquot Sound UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, which means it's a very big deal. We're talking about ancient cedar and Sitka spruce trees that are hundreds, sometimes thousands of years old. Walking through these forests is like stepping back in time. The air is damp and smells of earth and pine. Everything is covered in a thick carpet of moss, muffling all sound except for the drip of water from the canopy high above. It's an experience the Japanese call Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, and it's more relaxing than any spa day. There are boardwalk trails that wind through these groves of giants, making it easy to immerse yourself in the magic. You can stand next to a western red cedar that's wider than your car and crane your neck back to see a top that seems to disappear into the clouds. These trees are living cathedrals, silent witnesses to centuries of history. You can feel their age, their resilience, their quiet wisdom. Number 21. Fundy National Park, New Brunswick. Alright, so we're heading to Quebec again. This time to Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean. And yes, that's one place, not a law firm for cartoon moose. The main event here is the Saguenay Fjord. Now, I know what you're thinking, Ryan. Aren't fjords like a Scandinavian thing? Did Canada just copy Norway's homework? Well, maybe. But we added maple syrup, so it's totally different. This bad boy is one of the longest fjords in the world, carved by glaciers that were clearly overachievers. It's a massive crack in the earth filled with water, which, when you think about it, is also a pretty good description of my bathtub after my kids are done with it. It's not just a big ditch with water though, it's majestic, it's dramatic. It's the kind of place that makes you feel incredibly small and insignificant, which is a feeling I'm very familiar with every time I look at Hugh Jackman's biceps. The cliffs here shoot straight up from the water, like they're trying to escape a really awkward conversation at a party. You can kayak, you can hike, you can take a boat tour and listen to a guide tell you facts you'll immediately forget. But the memory of seeing this geological masterpiece, that sticks with you. Or at least it does until you see the next shiny thing on this list. The sheer scale of it is what gets you. It's a national park, because of course it is. Canada sees a pretty rock and a tall tree and we just have to slap a national park label on it. It's our thing. But this one deserves it. The water is deep, dark, and probably full of ancient secrets. Or at least a few lost fishing lures. It's a mix of salt water from the St. Lawrence and fresh water from the lake, creating this unique ecosystem where you can find whales who probably got lost on their way to the ocean and just decided to stay. I get it. Sometimes you just commit to a wrong turn. And the name, Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, it sounds so regal, so sophisticated. It's the kind of name you'd give a purebred poodle, not a giant chunk of Quebec wilderness. But here we are. It's a region that offers this incredible 1-2 punch of a massive, beautiful lake and a world-class fjord. It's like getting both the popcorn and the candy at the movies. You don't have to choose. You can have it all. And who doesn't love having it all? Except for maybe the guy who has to clean up after the movie. That guy probably hates it. So you've seen the fjord, you're impressed. You've taken 100 pictures that don't do it justice. What now? Now you head over to the Lac-Saint-Jean part of the name. And this isn't just some pond you skip rocks across. This lake is so massive, it's often called an inland sea. It has its own horizon. You can stand on one side and you can't see the other. It's the perfect place to go if you want to pretend you're a 15th century explorer discovering a new ocean, but with the convenience of a nearby convenience store that sells bug spray and questionable hot dogs. The lake is basically the region's giant freshwater swimming pool. In the summer, the shores are lined with beaches, and people flock here to soak up the Quebec sun. It's got this whole relaxed summer vacation vibe. There are cottages, boats, people water skiing badly, it's a whole scene. And the water is surprisingly warm, which is a nice change of pace from most Canadian bodies of water that seem to be actively trying to give you hypothermia on contact. It's less of a glacial plunge and more of a refreshing dip, which my very sensitive Canadian skin appreciates. One of the big draws, besides just lying on the sand and contemplating your life choices, is the Veloroute des Bleuets. That translates to the Blueberry Bicycle Path. Yes, a bicycle path named after blueberries, because this region is famous for them. The path circles the entire lake. It's over 250 kilometers long. You can literally bike around an inland sea fueled by nothing but the power of your own 2 legs and an unhealthy amount of blueberry pie. It's the most Canadian form of triathlon I can possibly imagine. Biking, eating, and apologizing to the people you pass. And let's talk about those blueberries. They're not just a clever name for a bike path. They are everywhere. Wild blueberries, cultivated blueberries, blueberry jam, blueberry beer, blueberry everything. They're a big deal. Visiting in the summer means you're basically swimming in blueberries. It's a flavor, a culture, a whole blue-tinted way of life. It's like the entire region decided to pick one very specific thing and just go all in. I respect that level of commitment. It's how I feel about gin. And aviation gin, specifically. See? Synergy. Okay, let's get to the real reason you might want to visit Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean. Sure, the fjord is nice, the lake is big, the blueberries are blue. But what about the wildlife? I'm talking about the kind of neighbors who don't ask to borrow a cup of sugar, but might try to borrow the contents of your cooler. The region is teeming with critters. And the star of the show, at least at the Zoo Sauvage de Saint-Félicien, is the polar bear. Yes, polar bears in Quebec. It's a special conservation center where the animals have huge natural enclosures. You ride in a caged bus through their habitat. The animals are free, you're in the cage, a nice little role reversal, but you don't even need to go to the zoo. This place is wild. You've got moose wandering around like they own the place, which, let's be honest, they kind of do. They are the majestic, slightly goofy kings of the Canadian forest. Seeing one in the wild is a truly Canadian experience, right up there with finding out your car won't start because it's minus 40 degrees. You've also got black bears, who are basically the raccoons of the forest, but bigger and with a much worse attitude about sharing their garbage. So, be smart, don't try to pet them. And then there are the whales, beluga whales to be specific. These little white whales, sometimes called sea canaries because of their chirps and clicks, hang out at the mouth of the Saguenay Fjord. There's a resident population that lives there year-round, which is pretty special. They're like the locals who never moved away from their hometown. You can take a whale-watching tour and see them pop up, these ghostly white shapes in the dark water. It's a powerful reminder that even in a place that feels so remote, there's this whole other world living just beneath the surface. So you've got fjords, giant lakes, blueberries, bears, moose and whales. Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean is basically Canada's greatest hits album. But all in one convenient, hard-to-pronounce package. It's a place that reminds you how stunningly beautiful and ridiculously big this country is. It's a choose-your-own-adventure of epic proportions. Do you want majestic nature, quaint villages, a slightly irrational fear of bears? You can have it all. Just remember to pack your camera, your hiking boots, and maybe a French dictionary. For ordering all that blueberry pie. Number 22, Fundy Footpath, New Brunswick. This is home to the world's highest tides. Watch the ocean vanish, then return, revealing a muddy, magical world to explore. Hike lush forests, chase waterfalls, and taste legendary sticky buns in Alma. Fundy is raw power, delicate beauty, and pure Canadian adventure. Just watch where you park. Number 23, Whitehorse, Yukon. Alright, we are going way up north now. Pack your long johns, folks, because we're heading to Whitehorse, the capital of the Yukon. This isn't just another city. This is the wilderness city. It's the last bastion of civilization before you plunge headfirst into the vast, untamed expanse of the Canadian North. It's a city built on the legacy of the Klondike Gold Rush, a place where history and adventure slam into each other like two bull moose fighting over a particularly tasty shrub. It's rugged, it's remote, and it's ridiculously beautiful. Whitehorse sits on the banks of the Yukon River, the same river that thousands of gold-crazed prospectors paddled up over a century ago, chasing dreams of fortune. The city still has that frontier town feel. The buildings have a rustic, I was built by a guy with a big beard and an axe kind of charm. But it's not some dusty historical relic. It's a vibrant, modern city with a thriving arts scene, great coffee shops, and more breweries per capita than just about anywhere else in Canada. Because when it gets dark for 6 months, you need good beer. It's simple survival. One of the most iconic sites in the city is the SS Klondike, a massive, beautifully restored sternwheeler that used to ferry supplies and people up and down the river. It sits proudly on the riverbank, a monument to a bygone era of steam power and sheer grit. It's a reminder of how tough life was for the people who came here seeking their fortune. They didn't have heated car seats or online shopping. They had wooden boats and a whole lot of hope. Seeing that boat makes you appreciate your heated gloves a little bit more, But Whitehorse isn't just about looking at the past. It's the jumping-off point for every kind of northern adventure you can imagine. This is where you gear up for your canoe trip down the Yukon River, your hiking expedition into the Tombstone Mountains, or your road trip up the Dempster Highway to the Arctic Ocean. It's a city where you'll see people in business suits walking next to people in full-on expedition gear who look like they just wrestled a grizzly bear. It's a place where the wild is not just nearby, it's part of the city's DNA. So what do you do in Whitehorse, besides just basking in its rugged northernness? Well, for a good chunk of the year you look up, because one of the biggest draws of the Yukon is the Aurora Borealis, the northern lights. And Whitehorse is one of the best places in the world to see them. From late August to mid-April, on clear nights, the sky comes alive with shimmering curtains of green, purple, and pink light. It's a celestial ballet that is so breathtakingly beautiful it feels fake, like a special effect from a movie, but real, and way cheaper than a movie ticket. People come from all over the globe, dress up like the Michelin Man, and stand out in the freezing cold for hours just to catch a glimpse of this phenomenon, and it is worth every single frozen toe. There are dedicated aurora viewing tours that will take you out of the city, away from the light pollution, to cozy cabins or heated yurts where you can sip hot chocolate and wait for the show to begin. It's a cosmic light show put on by the sun, and it's a profoundly moving experience. It makes you feel very small in a very good way, but the sky isn't just for nighttime viewing. The Yukon is famous for being the land of the midnight sun. Number 24. Fire, ice and hot springs, where extremes collide in the wilds of Kootenay National Park. Imagine soaking in steaming pools as snowflakes drift down, surrounded by jagged peaks and ancient fossils. Hike legendary trails, spot bighorn sheep, and warm up by a crackling fire after a day of adventure. This is Canada at its most raw and magical, a secret sanctuary of heat, ice, and wonder. Ready to dive in? Number 25. Magdalene Islands. Leaving the mountains behind, we head east to the Magdalene Islands, a world apart, shaped by wind, waves, and vibrant culture. Dramatic red cliffs, colorful houses, and endless beaches await. Here, seafood is legendary, and every meal celebrates the sea. The Magdalene notes warmth and resilience shine through their unique, welcoming culture. The Magdalene Islands, Canada's hidden gem, unforgettable and worth every mile. And there you have it, folks. 25 places. A whirlwind tour from the jagged peaks of the Rockies to the sandy shores of the Atlantic. We've seen it all. Or, a very small, curated and ridiculously good-looking fraction of it all. Canada is a big, beautiful, and occasionally very cold country, and we've only just scratched the surface. Hopefully, we've given you a few ideas for your own adventure, or at the very least, something to daydream about during your next boring meeting. I know I will be. I'm in one right now. I'm just thinking about Kootenay National Park. And lobster. Definitely lobster. Thank you sincerely for joining us on this journey, for sticking with us through all 25 chapters, through my questionable jokes and completely necessary tangents. We appreciate you spending your valuable time with us, time you could have been using to learn a new language or finally organize your sock drawer. You chose to hang out with us instead, and for that, we are eternally grateful. It's been a blast sharing these incredible corners of Canada with you, and I hope you feel at least a little bit more inspired to get out there and see it for yourself, or just watch more of our videos. That works too. If you enjoyed this scenic road trip and want more travel inspiration, or just want to hear the soothing, gravelly tones of my voice again, you know what to do. It's the thing all YouTubers say at the end. Go on, hit that subscribe button. Click the little bell so you don't miss our next adventure. It costs you nothing, but it means the world to us. It's like a virtual high five that helps us keep making these videos for you. And leave a comment below. Tell us your favorite spot or a place we missed. Just be nice. My ego is as fragile as a butterfly's wing, a very handsome butterfly's wing. So, until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, be safe, be kind, and maybe try to visit one of these places. Go make some memories, or at the very least, take some ridiculously good photos that will make all your friends jealous. That's a worthy goal too. Thanks for watching. My name is Joe, and this has been 25 must-visit places in Canada. Wait, my name's not Joe. Who's Joe? Whatever.